Hey there, I'm Magic Adam. Welcome to a look at the energy we see coming up in September of 2022. Every month I do these readings along as, along as, can't talk today, along with horoscopes. And but horoscopes come usually around the 25th of the month, and I do this reading around the 20th. And for September, the energy that I'm seeing coming up is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles, let me show you a better look. If you remember for August, the energy I saw was primarily, when I talk about an energy for the entire world, how does that affect everyone? It affects everyone because there are certain things. The planet becomes every month, every day, more interconnected, and thanks to things like the internet and media in general, so that something can happen on the other side of the planet and affect you, and these things ripple through society. So there are major and minor events. Some things make the world stage, and some things affect everyone. So just keep that in mind with these cards that I'm drawing. And with September, with this Ace of Pentacles card. So with August, we saw the King of Swords as the dominant energy, which meant that a lot of actions were being implemented, a lot of major plans for 2022 were happening. With this card, with a Pentacles card. So let me talk first about the four symbols used in the four. When we talk about the tarot, the four elements that come up are earth, air, fire, and water, but they're represented in the tarot by the Wands card for fire, the Cups card for water, the Disc or Pentacles card for earth, and what am I forgetting? The Swords card for air. I think I covered them all. But so what happens a lot with, especially with the Wands card and the air card, the Sword, is that these are cards that are very, up in the head, up in the away from the material world. They're movements towards, thoughts, towards the imagination, and they, you can, the deeper you go into those spaces, the more anything can be possible. So this is why magic, we say, is associated a lot with the wands, because that's really the creative imagination, and anything that can be imagined can be had up there. And even the swords card, which is a little more practical because it relies on reason, is can be, taken combined with the imagination to bring that energy down into a more practical form. But these other symbols, water, I think of water as kind of being connected between the imagination and the earth. And then way down, not way down, but in the more practical, we say down to earth, that expression. We say also to be grounded. Those are the ideas that we associate with the pentacles or discards, because they are the things that you have to deal with, the actual connected world that we're all connected to, this physical world. So yeah, back to the idea, swords, wands, kind of possibilities, limitless possibilities when you get down to it. Emotions, they kind of fluctuate between the real world and our imagination, our memories, our ideas about the future, what we expect. But this Pentacles card, which is what we're getting for September, this often happens after these flights into the more mental and imaginative spaces. And if what we're seeing in August is this sword card in which a lot of plans are happening and they're being implemented, a lot of times what happens after that is people will withdraw or take a step back, maybe is a better phrase to describe what they're doing. They're taking a step back to be more grounded and build a foundation. That's why I think the pentacle or the disc is used to represent the earth card, because it is a platform on which you can stand, on which you can rest. And that is what I think happens, or is going to be happening in September with this Ace of Pentacles. The Ace cards tend to be kind of like the imagine a solid ground or dirt, and imagine a plant popping out of that. That's the ace. That's the initial bursting forth into that new realm. It can be any of the elements, but with September, we're seeing the Ace of Pentacles. So, what you can do in September to benefit from this, and I'm going to do horoscopes. And if the horoscope isn't directly related to Pentacles, that's fine because everybody's energy is coming in a different place. But I'm talking about the world energy here as Ace of Pentacles. And what that means is that for you in September, you should consider what you can do to not necessarily ground yourself, but connect yourself to a more stable existence. And a lot of people say that Pentacles is money. That is not necessarily the case. It can be the case if money is going to be what allows you to have that stable platform, but it's not always money. What it really is about is having just more, stability. And a lot of times you can think of this is again a very big generalization, but you can talk about when young people, and we've all been young, but we all inhabit each of these realms, these elements. But young people in particular, they can be very, imaginative, very emotional, very, they want to dream and dream big. And we tend to say that older people, as they get older, they kind of drift more towards a more pentacles associated place. Whoops. In which things are, just can be more stable. The family life tends to be more pentacles oriented because to have a family, you need to have that stability. And so consider for September, as a lot of organizations, a lot of people are going to be drifting more towards establishing that stability, what you can do to also ensure your own continuity of existence. It doesn't mean don't dream. It doesn't mean don't plan in more mental ways, and it doesn't mean don't be emotional, because the stability of this card, if it goes to an extreme, it can be very boring, very conservative, and very kind of limited. And there's this dynamic process that individuals and societies need. So without this card, without emotion, it's like earth that dries up. So consider that. But in September, it's a good time to have a little more stability, to draw towards that energy for now. And then a lot of times what happens is once you have that stability and it starts to become a little too boring and tedious, then you want to launch forth into the world. That's just this dynamic yin-yang process that is going on all the time. So consider for September what you can do to make yourself more stable. It's interesting. I've talked about I moved in September, but I didn't exactly move. I'm traveling in Europe right now. I'm in Germany at the moment, and I'm going to be basically living in Airbnbs and hotels or wherever for the next several months. So I have to consider, since I'm not going to be having, a stable home, I need to find stability in other ways and continuity in other ways. This channel is one of the ways that I do that, but I appreciate all the energy that people bring to this channel and that this communication that we have. And I really enjoy the one-on-one talks that I've done with numerous people on the platform here. If you want to contact me about coaching, tarot readings, whatever. And I've also been thinking about doing, instead of just the brief horoscopes that I release around the 25th every month, I've thought about doing a longer kind of live session in which I go more in depth into all the signs that the energies that I read for the zodiac, including your horoscope. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen this month because I only have, I'd like to do that before I release the briefer shorts. So it would have to be like by the 23rd or the 24th. And I don't know if I have time this month, but I'm thinking about doing it next month. I don't know. What do you guys think? I have done live things before on my other channel, and they weren't too successful. I didn't feel like it was the right time. And this channel is even younger. It only has about 1,000 subscribers. So I'm thinking about it, but let me know what you think. And it would also be an opportunity, though, for people to ask questions and me to interact. I haven't really done that in a long time, so it's a little more, I'd have to also make sure I have a solid internet connection, which staying in Airbnbs, I don't know how solid it would be, but it excites me and it interests me, so I'm thinking about doing it. Anyways, that's just an idea for now. And the other idea I floated is to do a newsletter. And again, that is something I want to do, but I want to make sure I time it right and have the energy and time to continue doing it. So I'm holding off on that for now, but that and both live readings will probably be happening at some time in the future. But in the meantime, you can always leave comments and you can always contact me directly, and I will see you in future videos. Thank you. Bye.